All right, we've slept off the post-Christmas hangover, and we're back for another episode of Stream of Thought, episode number 54.
54!
And we begin by, well, what else could we possibly do than recap what Christmas was?
What did we get? What did Victor get for Christmas? What did Rix get for Christmas?
Victor was very curious as to how the day ended up going for me, and we get into that. But the whole thing is surrounded by this horrible weather that we're in the middle of.
Brr, I'm cold.
Christ, we're really not. And then we talk about 2018 goals. And
What are some of our aspirations?
What are we hoping for? A long-term, short-term? I mean, what does 2018 have to hold for us?
I think just a better day, better year for everyone. Just increasing the...
Are you hoping to win fantasy football in 2018 too?
Oh, well,
You came so close.
Yeah,
So close.
I didn't... Well, we'll see. Well, you'll have to listen to the podcast for the results.
Do it. Just
Episode
go.
number 54, Stream of Thought. We hope you enjoy.
I was actually kind of disappointed you didn't mention anything about my attire. Doesn't this
haven't-
look swanky?
I haven't taken the
It's
time
like
to notice
sweatshirt?
it until
Yeah.
now.
This
It does
is-
look new.
It is so comfortable feeling.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's comfortable. It's nice.
It does look pretty stylish.
So yeah, dude, this Christmas I felt so blessed. In just
Hashtag blessed.
hashtag blessed, totally. Yeah, man. My family knew exactly the practical gifts to get, like I had predicted in our last episode.
So walk me through your Christmas morning. You
Christmas
wake
morning.
up. When did it start? 7 a.m.?
I was up probably around 6 or so.
Okay.
And it was my responsibility to make like a cappuccino, I think. Whatever you use, condensed milk and sweetener milk or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know anything about coffee.
I have no idea. I was following a recipe in a book. So I get up at about 6, start making the coffee at 6:30. And dude, like, I have to tell you, when it comes to following directions for the first time, there are certain things that you just don't expect. So I'm expecting that I'm going to brew a full pot of coffee for my sister's coming over. My mom and I are going to have these like fancy drinks or whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
And-
you were telling me about you were practicing or you were going to practice making them the other day.
And this book that I'm reading out of is specifically from the coffee manufacturer, like ideas for how you can make different drinks.
Okay.
And it says to as opposed to using the regular brew options, it says choose specialty brew, like for condensed coffee. Now, I assume that it's going to give me coffee proportional to the size that I want, right? So if I do a full pot, it would give me whatever a fraction of that is, and then you go, vary the size. So the first time I try and make it, it says to do the specialty brew with the coffee mug. And so I do that, and it gives me maybe an inch of coffee total. And I'm like, there's no way I can make a drink with this. Like, it's meant
Really?
for an entire travel mug. So I'm like, okay, well, let me retry this. And so I get new grounds in there, and I bump it up to the half a cup. It gives me the same freaking inch. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm putting in more water. I'm doing, like, everything changing it up, but it's still giving me the exact same amount of coffee. So here I'm going over and over again. And the coffee is super condensed. I mean, it's like nasty espresso. It's not even tasty. So I'm trying to find a way to just manage that. But that's neither here nor there. Ended up turning out fine because I ended up putting whipped cream on it, and whipped cream makes everything better.
Yes.
So we get up. My sister ends up getting over there, probably around 7:30 maybe. Can't really remember. And then
She's excited to drink this specialty
dude, my
coffee
sister
and-
is one of those people who embraces the season with vigor and revelry. So she's all into everything Christmas. So yeah, it's she came over, had the drinks. My brother got up. My dad was the last one to get up, which is weird, and then we ended up opening up presents.
What time did you open presents?
What time? I
Yeah.
don't know. I wasn't really keeping track of the time.
I asked
during the
because
day.
growing up, this shit always happened at like 7:30 in the morning, and I would just be so pissed every fucking year.
Oh man,
because
my
my
sister
brother and
would-
sister
yes,
would wake up
exactly.
super early,
and then wake you up,
and
as
I
well.
just didn't care. And then this year, and I think last year too, it like happens way later, like 11. I think we opened presents at like noon. It's like way later.
like now.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not.
but
But
not
this year
not
and
back
last
then.
year and like.
Was it one of those transitions where it took a couple of years and it just kept getting later and
I
later?
don't
or
know.
was
I
it-
think so. I want to say.
Yeah, I mean for us it's still pretty freaking early in the morning. I mean no later than 9 or anything like that. But Yeah.
So tell me now, do you guys? What is your method for
The
presents?
method, yes, the present method.
Opening?
Ours is pretty much free for all.
Dude, I fucking hated growing up. We'd open one present at a time, each person. It fucking drove me nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking drive me nuts. I
Seriously.
just want to open my. I'm not gonna just tear my shit open all at once. Like I will open my present. I'll look at it like, wow, this is pretty, and I'll let it
Like,
savor.
admire it,
But the
yeah.
one thing I can't stand is when Dad opens his present, Mom opens her present. My sister, my
And
brother,
it's, like,
and then it comes
obligatory,
I'm
you have to
fucking
wait for it to
hating
go around
waiting.
the
It drives me
table.
nuts.
Yeah,
It's just
dude.
a fucking nuisance to me. Everything about Christmas is a nuisance.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm wondering if this could have led to your scarring. Is this mandatory wait period?
Probably,
as a
'cause, like,
child,
I'm
it
getting
sort of
just-
smothers your
Like
excitement.
I'm just getting agitated right now just thinking about it, and it was 2 days ago.
I can tell the volume
and
spikes
also,
are off the chart right now.
Also, just like the whole thing, like it's like noon. Like I already have my day going. I'm already doing stuff, and now I have to stop what I'm doing so we can open presents at noon. Like, why can't we have just done this at least somewhat earlier, like at 9 o'clock? I'm not saying wake my ass up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
You should come over and spend Christmas morning with my
Gosh.
family. I
You
feel
know-
like you'd be in such a better mood for the rest of the day.
December 26th is Boxing Day.
Yeah.
It's like a British holiday. I don't know exactly what it celebrates, but for me, I'm celebrating it as Christmas is fucking over and it's 364 more days until it happens again.
Dude.
Like, I'm so over it.
You're such a Scrooge.
It's just, it just gets on my nerves.
Did you get anything good or
Yeah,
anything
I
like
got some
that?
shit- I got some cool shit.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a total waste, right?
No.
What were some of the items that were in your arsenal?
So I opened one present and it's cold. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the style was like a lunch pail, like an old school aluminum lunch pail. And it was cold and my dad gave it to me and he gave one to my brother. And you open it up inside and there's 4 tall boys of like specialty beer.
Oh,
So I'm
cute.
totally going
Yeah.
to get it nice and cold and carry it with me to different parties on New Year's Eve. You know, just have my little lunch pail of
Was
beer.
was that like a sentimental gift? Like they're like,
No, he's
or
just
was
like,
it just like
he's
this
like,
is
guess
cool?
where I found.
Also,
He's like, guess where I found this?
Okay.
We're like, where? He's like, I found it at Mariano's. Like he just saw it, so he
Okay.
just got it.
yeah, that fits the.
I got a like an old school. My fingernails are so dirty. I tried washing them a bunch of times today, and I don't know why they're still dirty. It's from work, and it bothers me. I got this old school like a little brush like for shaving, you know, the old school that people would use like with a mug, because I already have my blade that I have is the old school butterfly. I don't know what it's called, but they open up like this, and it's just a single blade that you put inside.
Okay.
So I got the brush, and next step, get a mug and some little circle bar of soap to lather it up. You know.
Oh, okay.
So I got that. I got a couple CDs my brother gave me. As a joke, my mom gave me a skillet because I'm always using like a skillet, and because like the one that's at our house is like really crappy. She gives me like these subtle things to like that really like the kitchen also needs, like a 9x13 like a
Yeah.
baking sheet
Yeah.
and like a fucking pizza cutter, the circular one, that rolls across, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I eat pizza sometimes and I like bake shit and everything, so she wants me to have like my own because according to her, like we just fuck it all up, all the other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
of
really,
course
what
you
it is,
do,
just
yeah.
over time, it
Yeah.
gets screwed up. I'm trying to think. They gave me some cash for either like to get a massage.
Oh,
somewhere.
nice. That's always golden right there.
And I think that's about. Oh, my dad got me a fucking awesome book. My dad got me like this. It looks like a Bible because it's got this thick black cover.
Yeah.
With like kind of thicker pages with gold trim on the pages, so when it's closed, it's just straight up gold. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
On the
nice,
side
yeah.
of Henry David Thoreau's Walden. So it's the book Walden and a few other books at the end of it, so in one volume,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. I always get a book from my dad every Christmas and
You know,
birthday.
as I'm hearing about this, it was so interesting because you're like, describe your Christmas morning. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, for me, I guess it's a normal Christmas morning where there's lots of family time. Everyone's filled with joy. It's just a happy experience. Everyone loves their presents. It's just a free for all. Everyone does what they want. There's coffee brewing. There's, my mom always makes some sort of pastry stuff. It's just a very,
Yeah.
like, happy time. And I think to myself, well, I guess most people don't probably have an experience like that, right?
Because it's not anything special for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
for us, it's just like a time
Okay,
of intense
so
family
for example,
and a lot of love.
I see on Instagram like people with their grandparents and
Oh
uncles.
yeah, what was
and
social media like
cousins.
for your people on?
So like I don't care because
Christmas?
it's no different for me. Like I see these people all the time. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't see my extended family. It's just
Yeah.
another day that happens to be intrusive on my schedule because places are closed and I have to go do this thing, which is fine, opening presents one at a time, I guess, when like I have things planned.
Dude, maybe it's a way of God telling you need to practice a little more
No,
patience.
I just don't like it.
I
Like
think
I'm
that
totally cool
there's-
spending time with my family, but again, it's just like the hyper focus of all this intense energy in one day. It's like I just want it to be a normal day.
Yeah, but you gotta have a special day every once in a while, like once a year, maybe. What would your holiday be for the holiday that is the family love oriented holiday that you would accept on the calendar, if not Christmas?
I would go ahead and say maybe not like a holiday, but just like people's birthdays. I'm totally cool like taking a day to like this is someone's birthday, we go out to dinner, everyone gets them a gift. Like that's totally normal.
Mhm.
And it's not freezing cold outside.
I
on
was
people's
I totally thought
birthdays,
you were going
too.
to say Thanksgiving, and I'm just like, yeah, totally, because that's no, but
Thanksgiving's
yeah, no, I
cool,
think
too.
that's a good answer actually.
Like just people's
Okay.
birthdays, I'm totally fine with.
That's fair, yeah, but it's very interesting just to hear just how different of a reaction you have to the Christmas season. I think a lot of that has to do with your experience through childhood into adulthood.
But it was totally magical when I was a kid. Like opening presents, it was like getting toys. I just like don't care about it now.
Did
I
you?
just, like-
But you had the same like processes of
Yeah.
back then as you
Yeah,
do
the
now.
fucking presents once
yeah,
every
yeah.
when
That
it takes
kind
a
of taints
turn.
the experience too, because it's like.
I think also it's just like a reminder that I'm in the middle of winter. May be another underlying factor.
You know
that-
what? I've
know?
not been in the most like upbeat type of mood, but that's why I love Christmas so much is because we end up going over to my uncle's and his family's house and catch up there. A lot of laughs. We do goofy stuff now.
What
we
did,
play board games now. We never used to play board games.
What did you get for Christmas other than that sweatshirt?
Dude, my family knew basically every sort of hole in my life that needed to be filled. So we'll start with, I guess, what's immediate, and I won't bore you too much with what's going on. I'll just highlight some of the cool
You got a new watch?
ash-
You got a
Fitbit, man! My sister got me a Fitbit.
Nice.
And this thing is freaking awesome because it gets texts on it. Like
Really?
when you text me, I don't even need to take the phone out of my pocket. I just go like that, and it's activated by
Very cool.
by moving my arm, measures my heartbeat. I don't know what else it does. I'm still
Steps?
steps obviously. Flights of stairs. It does elevation.
Very cool.
You can do calendar stuff. It has breathing exercises on it. I mean, it is. I don't know if you've ever seen a Fitbit.
I've never
before.
seen a Fitbit. I've never really even seen an iWatch.
It's constantly censoring. Yeah, it's got a
Wow.
flashing like.
Does this
sensor light on
monitor
the back.
your,
constantly monitors your vitals.
sleep?
Yes. It'll
Wow,
monitor your sleep,
very cool.
breathing patterns, pulse. I mean everything.
That
dude.
is pretty awesome.
And the coolest part too is for charging it. You just pop it out,
What?
and it's
This thing just comes out?
it just comes out of the watch, and it's a cool little
You just put it-
contained charging port that you click it in,
Put it in?
and it'll last for a couple of days.
Neat.
Yeah. So this is probably the most fun gadget that I ended up
Okay.
getting. I'm like, oh man, I just love this thing. It's so convenient and practical. It's like being introduced to Bluetooth for the first time.
Very cool.
Wireless. So now I have a watch that's synced up with my phone, and that's like, wow.
What did Robert think of the portable charger that you got him?
He liked it. He actually he thought that it was really practical. And honestly too, I was thinking because my dad had gotten us portable chargers. I think it was 2 years ago, but they were pretty large. I mean, and they were for cars too, so they had enough power to like charge a car, start a stalled car. This is just one of those like pocket chargers that fit in the thing. Yeah, thank you again for going with me. To
definitely.
The store with that. I did not want to have to bike there, so
definitely. I'm actually going to have to do some shopping this week because the game plan originally, as my mom said, hey, I know this year everyone's kind of over buying Christmas presents and the stress of having to think of what to get. So, you know, maybe this year we don't have to necessarily do presents, but like maybe like you and I can do something, and you and your brother can do something, and your sister and you, like, you know, like stuff like that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And what happens? Everybody goes out and buys presents anyway, except for me. So I'm the only idiot in the living room.
That is hilarious.
That doesn't have anything to give to anybody.
Oh
Even
my
my brother got gifts for me.
Yeah.
CDs, you know? It could just be one thing, you know? And
you know, that's
like, what the
honestly
heck?
though, that's kind of how I felt when you gave me that binder, the 2018 planner. I'm like, I didn't get you anything. I thought we were just doing this. It's like, oh no, don't worry about it, kind of thing. So yeah,
No, you're fine.
No, totally. So you're on the other end of that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, I got a new Keurig, which is
Okay.
so when I move into my new place, and then my brother ended up getting me this like gamer keyboard and mouse, which light up in multicolors and stuff
Very
like that.
cool.
So all this sort of really practical stuff. A lot of awesome clothes too, like stylish clothes.
Yeah.
I'm not a stylish person, so
No.
I mean, wouldn't you say this is kind of stylish?
Yes.
It's
yes.
faded black and white gray type sweater, like
Yes.
50 Shades of Grey type.
Oh my god.
thing. No man, and it's so comfortable too. So yeah, overall, it was a very it was a very enjoyable morning, and then the evening going over to my uncle's, and I mean, dude, everyone but one of us is over 21 too, so everyone's pretty much an adult. And once you move from adolescence to adulthood, I feel like everyone's sort of on the same page. You can have mutual conversations with the other adults and stuff like that, and actually have these more deep, thoughtful, conversations. Adult humor makes sense now, and so everyone's sort of on the same page, and everyone just really got into it this year, and it was so much fun. There was so much laughter. There was so much joy. So
That's cool.
It was a very, very special Christmas for me.
Very good.
I mean, and I think it's a sign of the time to come. 2018 is going to be a freaking awesome year, man.
I'm looking forward to it. What I'm not looking forward to is every day of the week for the at least next foreseeable 14 days is taking 15 minutes to walk out of my
De-ice your
house
car?
and start my car
Yeah,
to warm
dude.
up. I'm just like, oh,
This
my
weather.
goodness.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I was telling you on the car ride that, Minnesota, like a potential place where I could be moving right now, negative 15 degrees without the wind chill.
Yeah.
Then you add the wind chill in, it's negative 30 to 40.
It sucks already when it's, negative 5 degrees in the morning and 5 degrees in the afternoon. But to do that type of weather every day for, more than a week, because what I love is when it's really cold and then all of a sudden the following week it's like 30 degrees. It feels like spring.
Dude,
you know?
it's like t-shirt weather.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I was walking down the driveway. I think it was this morning or tonight. I don't know. It was dark outside. I can't remember. But it was cold. And I remember thinking to myself, I cannot wait until March to watch all this snow just thaw. It can still be cold, but to watch it thaw away and see those random patches of grass.
Green actually
I'm
showing
looking
through
forward
again.
to that.
It's going to be magical. Dude, I mean, I feel like half the country is feeling our pain right now, though, because the weather cycle, Boston, the East Coast. So there was a town in Boston that got 3 to 4 feet of snow.
Wow.
Yeah, over the Christmas weekend, so.
Would you rather have it be? Would you rather say for, say like 2 weeks? Would you rather have it be snow 3 or 4 feet, but remain above, 28, 30 degrees, and after a few days, it's able to get, shoveled away or snowed
Yeah.
away, and sometimes in the
Yeah.
sun it'll melt a little bit, but you still have, say, 3 or 4 feet of snow or 3 feet of snow on your lawn, but a few days go by and eventually the sidewalks and roads get cleared away, so that have a bunch of snowfall but have it be like 30 degrees, or no snowfall but be like negative
right now.
-5 to -10 in the morning, and then between 0 and 12 degrees in the afternoon.
So we're kind of faced with the worst of both worlds in this
Dude, I
situation
would
right
take that
now.
dude, I
We
would
have
take-
snow and the cold.
I know.
So yeah, it's like if we could improve our situation in one.
And the thing
respect
is
or
too,
another.
like we had zero time to really to get all the snow away. Because for example, it
Yeah.
snowed, and I was out there shoveling, right? And immediately the next day it was freezing cold.
Yep.
So
Everything
it's
froze.
not like
Every little
so it's not
bit
like
that
some of
melted.
it was able to melt away in the afternoon, even a little bit, even when it's like 28 or 30 degrees, when it's quote unquote below freezing, it'll still a little bit melt in the sun. And then it'll be really cold, so the snow is like ice, but at least the driveway and sidewalks are completely cleared.
Yeah. So I mean, I think about it, and dude, I mean, I think about transportation. That's probably my biggest thing at this point. I bike everywhere,
Yeah.
so if there's snow, it makes it near impossible to try and traverse anywhere. And so for me, I got enough warm clothes, windproof stuff that I can
Yeah.
throw on that I can survive. Ooh, I got new sunglasses too,
Nice.
and they are nice sunglasses. And so yeah, I basically have all the apparel necessary to survive, negative 20-degree weather.
That's good.
And so I think I like snow, and if I didn't have to go anywhere, I'd say bring on the snow. But if it's during time when I got to travel, then no, I'll take the cold.
I forgot. My dad gets a thing of vitamin D pills because there's like no sun out ever, and when the sun is and the
Well, it's
off
like no one's
and the
outside.
off
I mean, so
off
you can't
chance
get
that there is not, you happen to be outside in the day and there is not overcast, it's pretty rare. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think so. I think that you.
No, dude, all the time there are. Okay, no, trust me. When
I
it's
think you're
daytime,
overestimating
nope,
the amount
nope.
of-
I disagree.
the
I disagree.
proportionality.
100%.
It's because there's less light. It's not that there's more clouds. There's just less light. So of course it's going to seem a little cloudier because you cut off 3 or 4 hours of sunlight. Everything's going to seem darker.
No.
I think it's a psychological.
There
trick.
are days.
I think you're.
I'm
tricking
going to
yourself.
keep track of this now. There are days
Anecdotal
in the
evidence, I
middle of
love it.
winter where it's
Yeah.
where you can see this blue sky and you can see the sun, but most of the time it's just gray.
Beautiful day
and
today.
cloudy.
It was a beautiful day today. It was a beautiful day.
What was so
yesterday.
beautiful
was a
about it? It was
beautiful
5
day.
degrees outside today.
I'm saying sunlight, dude. We're talking about clouds and
Oh.
the sun streaming in. I mean, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, yesterday, today. I mean, every day has been
A beautiful
right.
day in the neighborhood.
a
Yeah,
beautiful
right.
day in the neighborhood. Aside from the negative 5-degree weather, I'm not counting that. But at least there's sunlight.
You know what I've realized though? There's really only about 4 months of optimal weather every calendar year in the Midwest because
Yeah.
for 4 months it's dreadful, like right now. For October, November, and March and April, it's kind of hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? And then for May through September, that's when it's prime time.
I don't know, man. It gets pretty hot May through September. It gets pretty broiling
Dude, I'll
towards
take-
the end.
I'll take that
Hell no, man.
any day over
I would
cold.
take like I said, my philosophy. Cold.
This
cold,
last summer
you can
wasn't
always
that
heat
hot.
up.
This last
You can't
summer
cool
wasn't
down.
that terrible.
No, it wasn't. I thought we had really good weather.
Yeah.
And this is really the first cold that we've had all season. So it's not like this is something that we've had to perpetually deal with. It's been a week of cold. It's going to be another week of cold.
I know.
I mean, come on. A couple of
Last
weeks.
winter was amazing.
Yes, it was very mild, but it's the price we pay. It's the dude, and I keep thinking to myself too, is this just one of those, it's that question of how much of it is contributed to actual like human contributions or how much of it is just the natural like jet stream. It fluctuates based off of decades. I don't know. But it sucks because it always seems to be getting worse. It seems like every single year it gets just a little bit worse.
What do you have planned for 2018?
Plan for 2018?
Yeah.
Like,
We're only-
what do you
we're
mean?
less
Do you
than a
mean
week
Do
away.
you mean specific plans or
What
like
are-
life
what
goals
are-
or what do you
It's pretty
implying
simple.
with this?
What do you plan? What do you hope to accomplish, or what do you see on the horizon for 2018 as a just fresh start?
um, uh, I think,
It can be anything like read a certain
dude.
number of
I mean,
books or develop new habits or
it's interesting because I mean, most of my goals are sort of ongoing and they revolve around my recovery program. So I mean, ultimately, I would hope that by the end of 2018, that I am both debt free and living in my own place.
and it doesn't have to be also the
Like
whole
those
year.
are,
You can use like what's something more short term also like and continue to talk about what you were talking on too. But
yeah,
like
yeah.
for January, what do you want done for January? What do you see being done by the end of March? Like incremental things as well, not just
Yeah.
the macro.
I mean,
But
I
okay,
got so
having
many
your own
balls in the
place
air,
and what else? Recovery program.
no, yeah, having my own place and being debt free
Okay.
are the two primary things that I'm
Okay.
aiming for. And for the first time, I see so many different avenues that can happen through. Whereas 2017, I was kind of mired in this like hamster wheel of depressive like
Yeah.
reality that I just it was I guess facing the music, so to speak.
Yeah.
With 2017 was the year of facing the music for me, where I had to come face to face with a lot of my demons. I had to come face to face with a lot of the realities, and I'm through it. I'm here now. Like I've survived, which is awesome. And getting beyond that, there's still a couple of big hurdles that I have to overcome, but I want to say like 85% of it is in the rear view, and
Wow.
it is. I mean, this year was a year of pain and agony for me. And despite all of the positive things we talked about on this podcast the past 6 months, I just it has been one of those things where
What's the
each step was took so much
what's
effort.
the phrase? It's the something and gnashing of teeth. How does it go? The
The
clenching.
gnashing of teeth and rending of clothes. Yeah.
No, it's something and gnashing.
You
of
rend
teeth.
you rend your garments and gnash
No,
your
it's
teeth.
not that. It had to do.
Oh,
it's,
oh my
you know what I'm
goodness.
talking about?
My mom would know exactly what this quote is. She just finished
I
doing
want
the
to say
Bible
it's
in
like
365
clenching and
days.
gnashing of teeth, but gnashing is like the same thing as clenching almost, but it's something
No,
along those lines.
yeah, it's the yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
The
of for
yes,
you.
yes, the gnashing of teeth and the rending of clothes for sure.
Oh, I gotta Google that now, but I can't.
It's fine.
I can't be on my phone at all, even
No.
for research.
Not even for research. But it's not that important. But anyway, yeah. So 2018, it's gonna be a great year. I'm so optimistic about the different paths that are before me, and for me, it's just being like, okay. I mean, okay, and I'm a spiritual person, right? So I am coming to terms with being a little more receptive to the past that God lays before me, even if I don't necessarily want to do it myself. Like that's why the whole Minnesota thing is so serious, is that it's not something that I would necessarily think of myself to do, but neither was going to New York or going to, Des Moines, Iowa for college. It's like, do you take advantage of the opportunities presented before you? And I feel like for the first time in a couple of years, I'm really ready to embrace whatever possibilities are there. And it's an invigorating feeling, man. It feels like you have a shot at a second life. Right? Redemption.
I really enjoy making choices based on the philosophy that one writes their own story. Like life doesn't necessarily have to happen to you, but you're in control. That like you can decide what avenues you want to take, or if like something gets thrown your way, you can obviously choose how to handle that. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is too, like I really look forward to this is who am I? I can't do this. I can't do this.
Hey,
now. What are
if you
doing?
can
What are
do it,
doing?
I know you can do it. I've
Rex
told
is
you
looking
I
at
can't
his
do
phone
it.
right now.
I
and
was
all
like,
this-
well, I have
does not compute.
Does not compute. I can't do it, but you said you can, so I'm taking advantage
I
of that.
really look forward to like being 80 and looking back and be like, wow, I remember being nearly 30 and just not even have any clue what was ahead of me. And all these things happened when I was in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, the journey of life. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year. I like the new year a lot.
What are your plans and goals?
So one of the things I thought of was I read a lot, but I want to read. I don't know if I can get 24 books in 1 year. That's 2 books a month. That's a book every 2 weeks. That's a lot of reading.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can do that, but
I
think I can do 15.
And that's one of those things
Maybe.
too that I feel like when it comes to setting goals, that I mean, we overestimate our
Yeah.
resilience and our ability to actually follow through with what it
Yeah.
is that we're trying to do.
But I'm gonna write. I haven't really thought. I've thought about it a little bit. I need to write them down, like stuff I want to get done for January, stuff I want to get done by the end of March, stuff I want like 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and 12 month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, going. I can't.
But stuff always changes too. So, oh, actually, I do want to add. I started writing down weekly goals, like even like little things. Like I had to purchase note. I had to buy index note cards. I've been meaning to buy that for 2 months now. I don't have any. And I wrote on my piece of paper, goals for week of December 18th.
I feel like
purchase
index
note
cards
cards, purchase this, do that, like little things.
Yes.
And I think to myself, like, I don't really want to do this today, but I got to cross it off my list. So I go out and I do it, and I cross it off my list. Like little things that, like, I've been meaning to compile this playlist that I had in mind, but the task itself seems so big, but it's like, well, if I just do a little bit every day, I can knock it out.
So how do you find the motivation to actually go through with it? I mean, because that is something that I still sort of struggle with in trying to, unless I have sort of I don't know, unless somebody else is relying on me, I find it very difficult to self-start, like, and do things for my
Because
own
I was
benefit.
looking for a note card and I didn't have one. I realized if I had just bought them, then I would have them.
Yeah, but to actually follow through. I mean, even with the whole reading thing, right?
Just the enthusiasm of like getting to cross it off my list.
Okay. So it's like a pride ego thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I put down like I have 3 scrapbooks that I've made. Actually, one of them is in the process of being made, and I said on my list for this week, finish scrapbook, right? So I'm almost done with the pictures that I have. The other pages are yet to be filled with pictures I need to print. And this is something I worked on intensely like several months ago, and then I don't do anything. I think to myself, man, if I just did a little bit every day, I would have it completed by now. Or I would have completed it long ago. And so I'm doing that. The other thing too is I was reading The Fountainhead, that big ass book by Ayn Rand. I
Yes.
started that in the middle of October, and so last week I wrote down like finish reading The Fountainhead, because too many days would go by where like I would read it every day and then I wouldn't read it, and I'd read it and then I wouldn't read it. And man, I spent like several hours that week reading in areas that I probably would not have found myself reading had I not told myself, like, you got to finish it this week. You can do it.
Yeah.
Cross it off the list.
Cross it off the list. And as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, am I really gonna just totally ignore the fact that I've read maybe one book this whole past year? Maybe.
What?
I did not read, when it came to books, did not do much at all. But it's not like I'm avoiding literature or stuff like that. I read newspapers, I read articles, I read magazines, I read a ton of stuff. I love reading, but just sitting down with a good book, and especially not like a politics, religion,
like a good
sociological
fiction.
book, like an actual good literary story. And then I think to myself, well, the supplement for that has been stuff like Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or Stranger Things. Those are just as good as a book, right? Like, I don't need to. I'm getting my entertainment and I'm absorbing the creativity of these people. I don't need to read, for entertainment. But I think to myself, yeah, I do enjoy a good book, man.
I've been reading and keeping track of the words that I don't know. I kind of know what they mean, but I can't define it, but I can use it, and it's weird. And dude, I've been finding so many words that I don't know, that I've been writing on
for
note
sure.
cards,
For sure.
which I'm running out of note cards.
You're-
Why I needed note cards.
Good, man. Why aren't you using that vocabulary
Yeah.
more? That's
And
my
that's,
question.
see, the other thing that I need to do is planning my day out, because
Your lexicon.
I write these words down, but then I want to set a time aside to actually like study these words, not just write them down one time and forget about them.
It's all about, it's one of those things where you absorb it in the context, and then if you see it a couple of times, it's repetition, right?
Yeah.
So if you're seeing, because there's a difference, in my opinion, there's a difference between doing the Merriam-Webster's word of the day type thing and integrating language. Because if you do the Merriam-Webster's, like, oh, this is a word I don't know, like, yeah, now I know it, but a lot of people try and be like, oh, well, I want to use it now. I want to use that word myself. And my attitude is, if it's a word I don't know and I have to look it up, then I consider myself like a novice, a beginner in using that word. And unless I see it in context a couple more times in different situations and circumstances, I'm going to avoid it. Like, it's nice to know the definition, but I'm not going to retain it. I'll have to look it up again when I see it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because it's such a rare word that I
Like,
have limited RAM, so I need to
Limited RAM.
prioritize words that are like more commonly used. They may be weird words, but at least they're more commonly used, as opposed to those one-off words that people just want to sound smart or use a very particular word to describe something.
But I have noticed too, with Chris Hardwick and some of his guests, where he uses certain words, and you can tell he's not using them just to use them, but like, no, he actually uses them without really thinking about it. And I think to myself, man, you sound so cool knowing what that word is. I wish I could use that word.
Do you think that about me?
No, damn it.
I mean, and it's so interesting because I will realize, what was it? I'm trying to remember the word that he didn't know.
Who, Chris Hardwick?
No, Ray. That I'll be speaking in a sentence, and I think he didn't know the word sentiment or whatever. So it's like, so what are your sentiments about that? And he's like, what do you mean? What are my sentiments? I'm like, oh, and then I realized, oh, he probably doesn't know the word sentiment. So it's like, what are your feelings about this? And I'm just like, oh my goodness. There are certain instances where you'll just see a blank look on someone's face, and you'll be like, crap. Okay,
I love the blank look.
It may be integrated into my language, but not everyone knows it, and actually probably very few people know it, and so I need to re-communicate, which is what I have loved about working with that man, is like, to speak the language of the blue collar worker, you really have to translate these abstract concepts and words,
and sometimes
into
certain concepts
practical.
are explained, and dude, you just are not doing the concept any diligence by dumbing it down into very generic words. You know what I'm saying?
You have to, though. I mean, really, it's about...
Oh yeah, for if you're explaining it to someone, but
yeah.
sometimes like when you're able to find the right words to really craft your argument or to deliver what it is that you're thinking, it's like, man, what a great use of words and vocabulary to really shape this thing that you are trying to have someone else connect to.
Dude, I mean, that's why I'm a writer, man. Like, the beauty of language is something that is beyond words. Words are able to convey ideas in so precise terms that there is a word out there that will perfectly convey whatever it is that you want to convey. And there are the words out there to be able to do it. It's just a matter of knowing what they are and being able to use them in the right context. But it's like, you can say perfectly what you mean with no exceptions or caveats. It's like, this is what I mean because I use these particular words. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's incredible. It's poetic. I mean, it can really be...
I really had to take my time reading Henry David Thoreau's Walden, because I was reading and I read through like a paragraph or a few sentences, and then I was like, wait a minute, I think that was really important. And I go back and I read it, and I'm like, oh man, he wrote it in such a beautiful way that I missed. It wasn't so direct. It was a little more subtle, but in that subtlety, it was a lot, once you grasped it, was a lot sharper in delivering the message.
And that's why I really appreciate good writers, because good writers don't use big words for just to use big words. They use big words because they want to convey a very specific idea that could not be conveyed, in other language. It has to be this word that conveys that exact moment, and it adds to the poetic structure. And it's just, I'm in awe of those type of people, and that's something that I try to like. I'm like, I want to learn. I want to learn how to do that.
I love when stuff is written so well, you take a moment to digest it and reread it again, and maybe just sit there and ponder.
There are those sentences that make you like stop. It's like you're skimming through, then you read a sentence, you're like, whoa, I need to like process this.
Mm-hmm.
I need to insert this into my RAM.
Yeah.
That makes space in there.
I need to insert this into my RAM.
Yeah.
Bleep, bloop, bleep.
So what else?
Well, let's see. We talked about some Christmas presents. New Year's coming up.
I'm trying to see if
talk about that. Oh, so I lost my fantasy championship.
Oh, right.
So
the finishing of the
everyone
challenges.
So Eagles defense scored over 20 points, which is great. Russell Wilson, thank you. Not 15 points. That's all I got out of him on Monday.
Rough.
I was hoping for at least 23 to 25. And then my one guy, Powell from the Jets, who's done, mediocre at best. and he's the type of guy that has like 2 point game here, a game here, a 3 point game there, 6 points there, and he scored 20 fucking points on Monday
Well,
or Sunday maybe, and just and I here's what would have happened.
what would have
But
happened?
here's what also happened. Amanda scored big. She scored 137 points. I ended with 107, which if you can get in the 90s to low hundreds any week, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But she scored this ungodly amount of 137 points.
Wow, I wonder if she was having insider help and knowing who to.
So
to start
even
that
if I
with.
had like 125 points, which is crazy, I still would have lost. But I did the math. If I would have just done it, just maximized the points out of everybody. If Powell was in, if Wilson would have gotten 25 instead of 15, little things here and there, I think I would have come close, but still not have beat her because fucking Gurley, man, he scored 39 points for her.
Yeah,
think it
you
was.
can't really do anything
Fuck.
once if there's a breakout game like that.
My
Yeah,
goodness.
you're done. Nail in the coffin. It's over.
But I paid $20 we do $20 buy-in.
Yep.
And John, the commissioner of the Cox Fantasy League, who is also Amanda's husband, Venmo'd me $50. So
So you came out
it's
30
cool.
ahead.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude.
Yep,
That is
yeah.
a successful
So,
season. If you
yep.
can get third place or higher to get your money back,
This was the most exciting
Absolutely.
season for me, for sure.
you seemed really engaged.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever talked with you and you've been this
Yeah.
like into following
Yeah,
your sports.
for sure.
So it was a fulfilling journey then.
Yes, it was a fulfilling journey.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad.
I still won, even though I didn't get first place.
Because that was going to be,
I'm
I was
still
like,
a winner.
you know what? You got to let the past be the past. I was more interested in hearing, did you walk away a winner? You walked away a winner, man.
I walked
you're-
I walked away a winner.
You walked away a winner. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
When you're, especially in a league of such unpredictability and spontaneity.
It was really cool to see 4 people finish with the same record, 9-5.
Yeah, that's,
and
I
Amanda
love it.
happened to get the most points, so she was like first, and I was like third in the regular season, even though we had the same record. But of course,
Isn't there something about competition that always makes it a little more entertaining?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
If people are close in talent skills, whether it's a sporting event or whether
Yeah.
it's like a fantasy football league or something like that, if it's close, everyone gets in on it because everyone's like, I got a shot. This is
Yeah.
exciting. And people go on the journey together. So, that's what it's all about.
it's not about the money, it's not about the trophy, it's
not about the fame.
It's not about the fame or the ego. It's just
the ego.
about enjoying the journey,
Just enjoy
walking away a
the
winner.
Jesus, man.